Wake up!
Show me how you swim, Kobe. Show me how you swim. Okay? You got that life jacket on. We're not going in. We're not going in. 1, 2, 3, go! Good job!
Good job. All right, good job.
Oh, y'all were good. I was so proud of y'all.
Mary, you staying there? You come
Yeah, I'll bring it to you.
Okay. Oh!
Show them how you can swim. Come on. There's the tail. Come on. There's the tail. There you go, Joe. There's the tail.
The person touching the side, dive in and move to the side.
Take off the jacket off.
You saw somebody. Going up and down, up and down.
doing too much at school anymore. Come on, go ahead, Dad.
No, Dad.
Like this. And he finished.
Run back.
I am there, but my mom won't let me get the Here we see. Mom won't let me get the
Don't bend that.
Oh, nothing
No, they're on TV.
Alice.
Give a what?
That's the rainbow on here. Doug on here.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute.
I want to do defense. Jessica, where do you go Mr. Delco, do I have to do both this hour?
No. No, the class is going to do it just like last time.
Are you working?
My name is Ken Delpham. I'd like to welcome you to our water safety program for this year. I'd like to apologize for Mr. Dan Landry, who wanted to be here this morning, but he's going through elective surgery, so he won't miss too much of the second session. We're off basically next week. So he decided to go through the elective surgery today, and he'll be ready to for our lessons a week from this coming Monday. So he's unable to be with us this morning. A few things before we get started. I'd like to point out about our swimming pool. You're seeing something different in the pool that we haven't seen for quite a while, and that is the bottom. Before, with our old filtration system, this pool was built in 1948, and the filtering system was 41 years old also, and that was replaced early this year. The city of Thibodaux put up $45,000 and put us in a new filtration system in this pool, and you could see the results of it. You could read the date on a nickel on the bottom of the pool without water into the pool. There's still about $15,000 to $20,000 worth of work which needs to be done. We're losing about 14,000 gallons of water a day in the pool, and those problems are going to be addressed after the swim season is over, and by next year the water in this pool should definitely be the best in Thibodaux, and we feel that right now it is the best in the city of Thibodaux. You can see the bottom, and we apologize for that. We were tarring cracks earlier in the year, and we had a rainstorm immediately after the wet tar was put in, and that tar then drained down into the bottom end of our pool, and the stains you see down there are the results of that. The pool is very, very well kept up, very clean at this time. We do have some leaves and all on the bottom when thunderstorms and all come up, and we apologize for that, but this is most probably the cleanest water we've ever swum in this pool in the last 20 years. And it's all because of the city administration putting up the $45,000 for this new filtration system. Should you want to see it at the end of the session, I'll be glad to take you into the pump room and show you this new system. Before we get started also, I would like to thank all of our teachers here who are here this morning and who teach your children. We feel that this might be the best session of swimming we've had in a long time. Of course, the new water in the pool and the weather we had, which we only had one real bad day with when it was kind of rainy and cold, we got a lot accomplished, and we think that your children really progressed and really did a lot of good things. If you're dissatisfied about your child not passing a course, if you feel he should have completed it, we would like you to stop and just analyze the skills that your child has demonstrated. And we feel that the skills have definitely come a long ways, and we're going to show you these skills here in this program this morning. I would like to introduce to you right now the people who have taught your children, who have done a tremendous job this session. First, Mr. Brent Becknell. Brent's right here on the left. Bridget Berger. Bridget's over here on the left side also. Eric Berger. Eric is far left down here on the left. Jessica's also here on the right. Kenny Delphin. Kenny's on the left here with Thibodaux high cap on. Ms. Dawn Hebert on the left side. Doesn't look like she's ready to swim. Another person I'd like to introduce who is in our emergency water safety class. He works maintenance here at the pool, and hopefully by the end of summer will be in the chair for us as a lifeguard. Mr. Donald Harris is on the right-hand side over here. The old lady of the staff, the person who's been teaching 8 years, 8 summers here, Miss Alice Lejeune. And Alice is also a water safety instructor. Miss Erica Meir. Where's Erica at? Erica right here on the left-hand side. Our old man of the staff, the guy who's been here about 7 years, Nolan Nake, also a water safety instructor. Nolan, right here by the chair. Also, Miss Cindy Porche. Cindy, down here on the left. Miss Becky Pugh is not able to be with us today. She had to go out of town, but her able assistant and replacement, Jason Pontiff. Jason. Linebacker for Thibodaux High School, Chris Rice. Where's Chris at? There he is, big old monster right here. Sean Tardif. Sean right here on the right-hand side. And also, someone I'd like to recognize, an outsider coming in from California, and we were lucky to get her to work and teach lessons with us this year, a water safety instructor, also our aerobics instructor, Miss Elizabeth Walters. Elizabeth, down here on the left. Now, the purpose of our show today is 2 or 3-fold. First of all, we can talk about safety, and we can also then demonstrate the skills and the testing techniques we use in our program to test your children. Drowning is nothing more than suffocation in the water. When you get your head, your mouth, your nose into the water, below the surface of the water, of course you cannot breathe. Once you breathe in, you fill the lungs with air, and the air, carbon dioxide exchange can take place in the lungs, and you end up drowning. I could almost guarantee you that one person sitting here on the deck today is going to save somebody at some times in his lifetime. Now you stop and think about that. Someone sitting here today is going to save another person's life because of what they have learned in this class. Now this may sound like a boast and say, oh come on, that doesn't happen. I'd like to relate just a short story to you. Last summer we had a young man here who got into our beginners class and started off couldn't swim a leg. This guy was a teenager, 14, 15 years old, and he started off in our beginners class with usually the very, very small kids, and he progressed very, very quickly, and it wasn't long before this young man was swimming across our pool. One afternoon he came to a general swimming session, and he was diving off the boards, having his good time, and we had another young man that went off the board and couldn't make it back to the side, and he was in trouble. The young man was drowning. This young man who was in our lessons, a beginner swimmer, from what he had learned in these lessons, jumped into the water, grabbed onto the side, extended his leg out to the guy drowning, and pulled him in. Here at the pool, we keep track of how many saves each person gets throughout a summer. Last year, we had 3 saves for the entire summer, and this beginner swimmer from our classes got one of the saves on our list. So far this year, we have 3 saves already over here at Municipal Pool, and these 3 saves, all 3 of them took place within 5 feet of the side. 2 of them were reaching assist, and 1 of them, someone had to go into the water and get the young man out. And these youngsters in these classes can affect these saves, and we will demonstrate those saves to you. We teach the people when and where to swim. The reason being is because most people end up drowning, or drowning is the second leading cause of death for people 4 to 44 years old. Stop and think about that now. The second leading cause of death of young people between the ages of 4 and 44 years old. So these people need to know how to swim, and especially here in Louisiana, where we have water and canals and bayous all over the place. We use the American Red Cross water safety program, and we have these level of courses. We teach a 3 and 4 year old toddler course, which is really basically a beginner course. And then we call the beginner course the ones for the 5, 6, 7, 8 year olds, or anybody who doesn't know how to swim, the beginner course. The advanced beginner, the intermediate class swimmer, advanced swimmer, basic water safety, and emergency water safety. These are the people who are going to be our guards. These 5 people who are sitting on the side fully clothed are in our emergency water safety class right now. And they're learning how to save people. This is what we're teaching them there. There is a lifeguarding course, which is basically for people, beach guards and things like that, which we really don't need those skills here in a pool. And we'll explain why later. Then we have the survival and advanced survival courses, and we don't teach those here at Municipal, but they can be found at other Red Cross facilities throughout the state. 2 courses that we teach here, and one of them will be demonstrated today, is a diving class we teach each year at the second session, and we teach off these diving boards here just to get some basic skills in diving into the water, is one class we offer. And the other is a water aerobics class taught by Ms. Walters, and she has 4 or 5 of her students, and they will put on a demonstration for us later on in this period. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to let the kids start to show for us a little bit, and they're going to demonstrate some of the skills that they have acquired down as pass or fail. It seems like our failure rate is quite high, but when you stop and realize what these kids have to do, and we're going to show you the tests that they must pass in order to pass the beginner course and the intermediate advanced beginner course, you're going to see that it's really quite easy to determine if a child has passed or not. And your child's instructor will get with you and will explain to you why or why not your child has passed this course. First, we're going to start with the beginner level, and there are 2 tests which are given. They're called combined skills tests, and there's combined skill test number 1 and number 2. First, combined skill test number 1, the student will jump into deep water, level off, and swim for 20 to 25 yards using a beginner stroke or the combined stroke on the back. Demonstrating combined skill number 1 for us today will be Anna Thomasy. Anna, where you at? Where's Anna at? Okay, Anna, anytime you're ready. Anna is going to jump into the water. Go on, Anna. Now this is very deep water now. She's going to level off, and she's going to swim across the pool. Go on, Anna. When you stop and think, this young child about 3 weeks ago most probably wasn't near the level she is right here. It's kind of amazing that she could come this far in 3 weeks.
You saw Linda Cross?
Oh, sorry. All right, she's going to jump into deep water, does the survival float for 1 minute.
How early y'all go? 6:30. Well, I'll make run at 6:30 to look at.
The survival float is something that you can do for a very, very long time. It's restful. It saves on energy. And all you do, basically, you fill your lungs with air, and this will keep you floating. When she's ready, she just presses down with her hands, and then she will could do this for hours upon end. The test for the beginner course is she must do this for 1 complete minute, and then she must make it back to the side of her own. Very good job by Heather Comstock. Good job, Heather. Dive this time now. Surface and swims the crawl stroke for 20 to 25 yards. Tommy Thomasy and Eric Tate will demonstrate this. All right, guys, anytime you're ready. Okay, notice that they dove in this time and not jumped. And then they're using the basic crawl stroke to make it across. It could even be a beginner stroke to make it across also. No, I'm sorry, this is the crawl for the advanced beginner. Good demonstration by Tommy and Eric. The second combined skill, the student will jump into deep water, surface, and swims the elementary backstroke for 20 to 25 yards. Michael Thomasy and Jai Uze will demonstrate this. All right, Michael, Jai, anytime y'all ready. And then the elementary backstroke is done on the back. It uses what is called the breaststroke kick or the whip kick, and it's a very, very restful stroke. I want you to notice how relaxed these young men are in the water. All of our demonstrators so far. Relaxation in deep water, not panicking. Panicking causes you to not be able to float. Relaxation in the water will allow you to make headway through the water very, very easily. And these two young men are demonstrating this perfectly. A very good demonstration by Michael and John. Good job, guys. The third combined skills for the advanced beginner. The student will dive into deep water and then will swim 3 or 4 body lengths underwater and will surface, perform the survival stroke for 2 minutes in deep water. Demonstrating this will be Greg Swift and Troy Thibodaux. Greg, Troy, anytime you're ready. Dive in and swim underwater for 3 to 4 body lengths. This is the first time you see them having to swim underwater, and that's basically to the diving board here. And now they do the survival stroke. The survival stroke is a stroke that's not taught as a stroke. The breaststroke is quite a difficult stroke to learn. Notice pull, breathe, kick, and then the glide. Pull, breathe, kick, glide. It uses the breaststroke kick. Mark's doing a little bit of a scissor because this whip kick or this breaststroke kick is very, very difficult to learn. But a very good demonstration by Mark Delco. Good job. Sean Yates will demonstrate the side stroke. Sean? The side stroke is this is one of the most restful strokes to do. Again, the arms and the legs work together. You use the breaststroke kick. Again, very, very difficult to do the breaststroke kick. And then notice a nice glide at the end of the stroke. Shelly is so relaxed in the water. And look at the nice glide. Easy to do.
So refreshing.
Very good stroke to swim with. And notice how the arms and the legs work together. When the legs drop, the arms come up to shoulder height, and then they're brought back together, and then a nice glide ensues. Notice her chin position, how high up it is. It keeps her good body position. Very good demonstration by Shelly and Daniel. Good job. We've had 3 saves this year. 2 of them are with arm extensions. Cagney Tabor and Carrie Landry will demonstrate this. Carrie Landry will be the victim, and Cagney will be the rescuer. This is over here on the left side by the chair. The victim's going in. And the rescuer just lays down on the deck, reaches out with the hand, and speaks to the victim, and tries to make contact with the hand, grabs hold. If we need a little bit more distance, we can... Libby and Rachel, on the right-hand side. Now, all you basically have to do is just extend the legs. Libby's getting in position. We have the liberty of having victims that can swim. That's nice, huh? And then we get the...
Make a face.
And now the rescuer's in the water holding on to the sides, and then just extends the leg out to the victim, which grabs on, and then is pulled into the side, and then he grab onto the hand and pull on the side. Very good job, Bob. And we'll say good demonstration by Mandy, Travis.
Hey.
At each other, standing up in the boat and doing those kind of things, because you can end up tipping the boat over. Oh, they got it. First shot this time. Good job. Once they got this boat flipped, last hour they had a real tough time doing this, getting the boat flipped. Once we got the boat flipped, we get back to the boat. Normally we stay with the boat. Okay, let's stay with the boat right there. We're going to get to it and we're going to interlock arms across. All right, they can hang on to this boat like this for a long time. And basically, if your boat should overturn on you, that's the thing to do. Stay with the boat first. Let's say the boat got away and it sank immediately, and next thing we do, we look for things that float. Let's find something in the boat that floats. Notice the Playmate floats. Now, if you like some of my gourds, it's most probably full of beer and it might not float. Beer and Coke, all right? It might not float, but even it'll give you some flotation. The water cooler will float. We had a PFD that was in the boat, which they did not have on. The paddle's made out of wood. It will float. There are seat cushions in there that'll float. There's an empty bucket in there that if you empty the water out, turn it over, it'll trap air in it. It will float, okay? All right, let's say everything that floated got away from us, all right? Next thing we're going to do, we're going to try and swim for land. The strokes you should not use, the back crawl or the front crawl. Why not? Because notice how the arms come out of the water. All right? With the arms out of the water, you're going to tire out real quickly. The strokes you should use with clothes on are the side stroke, the breaststroke, or the elementary backstroke. Why? Look how restful these strokes are. The arms don't come out of the water and doesn't take nearly as much energy. What also we could do, we could use this clothes as flotation devices. By buttoning up the top button, tying off the bottom of the shirt, and blowing air between the second and third button. They're going underwater now and blowing air into the shirt. Notice the shoulder area, how the air bubbles up in there. And the shirt can then be used as a flotation device. Next, the trousers. Let's get to the pants off. Some of them there are two ways to tie the trousers off. First, you button the button or you snap the snap, zip up the zipper, and you could then tie the two legs off either together or separately. Some of these are going to tie them together and some separately. Notice the difficulty they have. These are some very good swimmers, all right? Very good swimmers. And I tell you, after the demonstration, ask them if they're not tired. Swimming with wet clothes is a very difficult task, and they're doing a very good job of it. Now they have to get their clothes off and then get them arranged to be used as flotation devices. All right, some are tying them together on top to be used as as a PFD. Some are going to tie them off separately at the bottom of each leg, and then they're going to start putting air into the pants.
Okay, Eric, get in line.
Hey girl, what do you do? Sunday. I mean, none is on, huh? You don't have to
You doing the boat?
The boat.
Okay, all right. So, no,
Come on, Olivia.